Welcome to our special assembly, themed Going for Gold. We will be celebrating the successes of 2017 and ushering in the new academic year.
Martin Luther King said, "The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and critically. Intelligence and character, that is the goal of true education."
So once again, we're going to acknowledge our teachers for outstanding results for our systemic test for 2017. We have outperformed our poor schools in the area, but now we can even say that we are outperforming the wealthier schools in the Western Cape. So, yes, those are exceptional results. And I do want to mention that the teachers that we will be calling upon today to receive awards have exceeded all the goals set out by Christel House. So they haven't just met them, they've exceeded them. And I'm going to just award in the intermediate phase first to Miss Bonita Folks. As the HOD in the English department in the junior school, you have ensured that we achieved scores for both grade 3 and grade 6 in excess of 90%. So, thank you, Miss Bonita Folks. And to Miss Wendy Wolf for achieving over 90% with our grade 6s of last year. Well done. In the foundation phase, we have for the first time Miss Yolanda and Miss Jackie taught the grade 3 classes. And Miss Yolanda and Miss Jackie have achieved 93% at their first attempt at teaching the grade 3 classes. Well done. I'd like to also acknowledge our teacher assistants in those 2 classes, Miss Anita and Miss Nonki, for your hard work to ensure that we achieved our goals. And of course, a big thank you to our deputies as well, because they make sure that all programs are driven in the junior school. Then the term award for the junior school for our learners. In term 1, we worked on the character of respect. So they've already received the awards in term 1, but we are going to do it so that you can see who they are. So in the foundation phase, the award for respect goes to Lisa Kanyan Koma. And in the intermediate phase, Artika Philander. Well done.
We will now be moving on to another program that has brought us accolades in 2017. The Christel House robotics team, the Robonauts. They have landed gold at the World Robot Olympiad in 2017. We asked the team to reflect on their win.
Christel House was the most important part of my life because Christel House has grown me to be a young man with discipline.
We wanted to make a mark. We wanted everyone to sit up and take notice, that, hey, Christel House students, that they have the potential to do this. We are creating opportunities for Christel House learners to transform their lives. The program at Christel House is working.
I would like to, first of all, call my deputy principal, Mr. Nasser Harris, to receive this award for a subject which is normally very, very difficult. Our matric class, they work very hard. They always work hard, but the extent to which teachers like Mr. Nasser go out of his way to spend that last few days with the children, it's a sight to behold, and I'm very proud to hand this to a man who could manage to get distinctions out of his class. Congratulations, Mr. Nasser. So now we can fulfill his job to hand over these awards to the rest of the teachers. I would like to call our art teacher, Ms. Vivian Stewart. She's absolutely consistent as she from year to year brings out the best out of our art students. And last year, very small class, but they've achieved very, very good marks. And I would like to honor her for the 2 subject distinctions she received. When a teacher gets 1 distinction in a class, you're proud of the teacher. You're ecstatic if they give you 2. But when you get 3 from a class of matriculars, and you do know that most of your learners are not even first language English speakers, but for home language, they get distinctions. So I'm going to call Mr. Cedric Esterhuizen to come and receive this award for those 3 beautiful home language distinctions in English. Okay, now we're going to somebody's story. Her story, or is it his story? So Mr. Sean Stevens is the man. He never let us down. Every year, without fail. And he's quite tough with his marks. And when we look at the differences between his from term to term, he's always the one with differences of negative differences. So he's quite a hard-handed marker, as one would put it. And it's probably been part of his success and helped him to bring out the best out of his students. And I want to honor him today. He received 5 subject distinctions for history last year. In the staff room yesterday, I said, today is Aziza's Day. Aziza's Day now. So yesterday we celebrated Aziza's Day. So Miss Aziza Bartes is our Afrikaans teacher, and she also never let us down with that subject. She got 6 subject distinctions. Well done, Miss Aziza. This one teacher that I'm going to call now, and I've got 4 awards and I'm going to give it all in one go. Okay. He's teaching 2 subjects. The one subject, he got 7 subject distinctions. The second one, he also had 7 subject distinctions. He has a class average for the one subject of 83%. A class average of 83%. And his top student also made the top 10 in the Western Cape. Our economics and business studies teacher, Mr. Bill Adams. Okay, certainly a man of distinction. Okay, I'm going to go to the grade 9 systemic results. So when I do this, I would like the class of 2020 to stand, please. They're very, very proud because this morning I told them how high up on the chain, I don't want to call it the word chain, but how high up their results were. This class, they've achieved for English 92.5%, okay, for their systemic test. And I'm not going to give the comparisons because I know Ms. Adri would like to talk about that. No? Okay, then I'm going to tell you the average around in the Western Cape, we have an average of 53%, you know. Christel House, if you compare this with where they come from, I tell you the stats are even bleak, and I'm almost ashamed to give you the comparison in mathematics, because in mathematics we have, I counted, there's probably about 4.9% in your Quintile 1 schools. That is the percent of learners who passed for mathematics in our school. This class, the learners who are standing there, they achieved 88.7%. So we are extremely proud to hand these awards over to the following teachers, and I'm going to call one student to represent all of them, and we've agreed this morning who that student will be. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride that I call Ms. Althea Stevens to receive this award for English. Now we have a new teacher in mathematics. But we work as a team, and the one group, one person in the team who's never really been honored. And I looked at the strategy we employ, and I thought to myself, oh my word, how can we not say well done to this person? He's the person who marks the scripts. He's the one who analyzes every test from day to day. Yes, you've guessed it. They write tests every day. At some stage in their lives, they probably hated us. But I think they love what we've achieved to date. So I'm going to call the teacher assistant in mathematics, Mr. Levandre Boysen, to receive this award. Mr. Levandre. He's also an ex-Christel House student. And I always want to say, watch the space. He's going to be a math teacher of note. Then, ladies and gentlemen, I want to call 2 more people to come to the front. I want to ask the graded, the man who kept it all together every morning. Am I right, guys? Yes. Mr. Randall Daniels. He's the graded for the class. And the student graded, who's the spokesperson for the students, Zara Elias. She represents the entire grade.
Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It is about learning to dance in the rain. My name is Vano Shalendla. I come from a community called Langa, where my peers don't have the opportunity to dance as we do here at Christel House. I dance because it is a way that my family celebrates tradition. I dance because there is no greater feeling in the world than moving to a piece of music and letting the rest of the world disappear. So, forget your troubles and dance.
Girls have demonstrated, it takes a lot of commitment and perseverance to achieve a desired goal. Building on our achievements, Christel House continues to offer great support to students and graduates through our mentorship program. Let's listen to what one of our mentors had to say.
I would have loved to have a mentor growing up, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. The Christel House alumni, we had been speaking a lot about how we were going to give back to Christel House. Current students as well as the alumni, we go through obviously the same experiences. We've attended the same school, so in that case we have a level of understanding. I think mentoring is extremely important, and it is becoming increasingly vital for especially young people to form these mentor-mentee relationships.
We discuss personal matters along with the world and the future and what to expect.
I see myself in the students I mentor. I think there's a general misconception that the mentee benefits more in the relationship than the actual mentor. But I think it is a mutually beneficial experience. I think to myself, where would I have been if I hadn't received a Christel House education? A Christel House education is one of a kind. A Christel House graduate is one of a kind. And that is why I'm grateful. My name is Zola Mapila, and I graduated from Christel House in 2009.
So it might well have been my 8th day at Christel House on the job, but it's certainly my 5,209th day in actively working towards social change in education, through education, and breaking the cycle of poverty. There are good reasons to work in social change, and there's good reasons to work in education, and one of it is that it's fun. And I think you've seen that today. The other one, that it's also moral imperative. We have to do the work we have to do. But for those of you who might be cynical, it's also an economic imperative. We can break the cycle of poverty by doing so. We bring people into the workplace, we increase the GDP, we increase economic activity, we increase our tax donor base, and with that, everybody is better off. So it also makes economic sense to do what is the right thing to do. So virtually 20 years ago, Christel de Haan did exactly that by creating a model that will sustainably address poverty and sustainably break that cycle. And the model is really quite easy for those of you who are our visitors here today and you perhaps don't know it very well. It basically rests on 3 pillars, and I'll go through them very quickly. The one is character. If you start by building character, the rest will follow. In my words, I say it very easily. If you're familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you flip it on its head. If you start with the actualization of self first, the rest will follow. McKinsey has just brought out a study very clearly saying that the ultimate differentiator between success and failure is mindset. Now, mindset for us is character. And if we work with that, the rest will follow. That is a platform from which we can do the second thing, which is our academic excellence and prowess. And that is easier said than done. So our students start early, they finish late. Academic excellence, our teachers are all qualified. We are measuring ourselves against other schools who battle to have qualified teachers. But it's not just that. You can't teach at a high level if a stomach is hungry. You can't fill a stomach that is hungry if somebody is ill, who hasn't been vaccinated, who can't come to class, who needs a psychosocial support, who needs a bus to get here, who needs a pair of shoes. So if you want to break the cycle of poverty through education, it's an integrated, well-resourced effort. That is really important, because otherwise you dabble in improving poverty as opposed to breaking the cycle of poverty. And the third leg of that, which I think is really important, and that's the most difficult one, and that is what I refer to. Oh, by the way, in terms of the integrated approach, I'd really want to encourage you to read the work of Geoffrey Canada, who did amazing work in the Bronx. It's, I think the book is called Whatever It Takes. It chronicles the work that he's done. It's absolutely phenomenal. Thirdly, which I think is the deal breaker in all of that, is what I refer to as slow and patient capital. We are very quick to do an afternoon workshop and a 2-week this and a 5-day that. It takes 6,205 days to do the work we do. We take our students in grade R, we take them through primary school, through high school, and 4 years post-high school. If you count that up, it's a long, slow brewing of what is ultimately success. And that is a big differentiator when one gets tired and you want to. Interesting, if you look at, for example, the Knysna fires, devastating as it was, within 48 hours, hundreds of millions of rands was raised. We've got amazingly philanthropic hearts. But the long road of 6,205 days is a difficult one, and that's the one that breaks the cycle of poverty effectively and sustainably over time. The Christel House model proves that it can work, and I've only picked 3 statistics. Every grade 3, 6, and 9, we measure our systemic results, and I want to just pick up, Ms. Ronald picked up the grade 9 results, I want to add to that. Students that come from the environments that our students come from, 4.9% of them pass math. 90% of the teachers in those classes cannot pass the exams they set their students themselves. In the Model C schools, 45% pass rate. At Christel House, 88%. It is a spectacular delta that can only happen because of the various things that we put in place, starting with character, starting with an integrated approach, and a slow burn of capital. We then take these students all the way through grade 6, 3, 6, 9, and by grade 12, it's our 8th year. We've had 8 years of 100% pass rate. 100% means everyone, not virtually everyone. It means every single student that came through our hands get through matric. We're hoping to say it's 9 years. There's one student who rewrote one exam, one paper of one exam, and we're waiting for that result. Then we're going to say that it's 9 years of 100% pass rate, and that is spectacular. But in South Africa, we think somehow we've arrived when you write matric, but you don't. You fall into a pit of unemployment, and once again, we don't lose our guys. We take them for 4 more years of holding them through college and careers, through our College and Career Centre. And with that, currently, The collective, 91% of our students are employed, or they're currently studying or doing learnerships. The other 9% we're actively finding opportunities for. So understanding poverty and understanding how to break the cycle of that poverty works because we've got the numbers to show it. And I just want to really honor Christel House International, our support from Indiana in this. It cannot happen by just trying hard. The data analytics that forms the basis of this is spectacularly impressive. You will reach your goal, A, if you know where you're going, but B, if you measure it. And at Christel House, lesson by lesson, exam by exam, every assignment, week in, month in, quarter in, and year out, we measure against our compass so that if we are off course, we pull it back in. And that is why those results are the way they are. And so with this, I want to really encourage you to walk this road with us as friends, and thank you for being here as friends today. 6,205 full days if you walk this with us to go for gold. Thank you very much.
Music is the greatest communication in the world. Even if no one understands the language that someone's singing in, they may still appreciate good music when they hear it. Good morning all. I am Althea Bryan and I've lived in Menenberg all my life. I started my schooling career in 2007 as a grade 1 learner and I'm currently in grade 11. My family and I have been blessed with this amazing opportunity for me to attend Christel House. My journey of transformation has been exposure to not only my valuable education, but to my great passion for music as well. At Christel House, I learned to play the trumpet and I joined the school concert band. I became so familiar and confident with my instrument that I now play for the Cape Philharmonic Orchestra. This continues to open many doors for me, and I find myself speechless when I think of all my opportunities at Christel House, South Africa. When words fail, music speaks. Please sit back and enjoy our combined jazz band's rendition of Celebration. Thank you.
Come on.